Hello, everyone. I want to begin with a simple truth. You can never speak English fluently until you start thinking in English. You see, most English learners in the world, whether they're from India, China, Brazil, or anywhere, have the same habit. Before they speak, they translate. They think in their native language, they search for English words in their mind, and then they try to speak. But by the time the right word appears, the moment is already gone, and they feel nervous, embarrassed, or stuck. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you were talking to someone in English, maybe at a cafe in New York or during an interview in Los Angeles, and suddenly your brain froze. You knew what you wanted to say, but your words just didn't come out. That's not because you don't know English. It's because your brain is still using your first language as a filter. Today, I'm going to reveal something powerful. The secret to thinking in English before speaking. This is not a quick trick or a grammar hack. It's a shift in how your brain processes language. Once you understand this, your English will start to feel natural, smooth, and automatic, like it's part of you. But before we dive into the secret, I want to ask you two simple questions. 1. When you speak English, do you still translate from your mother tongue first? 2. What do you think is harder, learning English words or thinking in English every day? Drop your answers in the comments box below. I love reading your thoughts before we continue. All right, ready? Let's begin. Section 1. Why thinking in English is the real secret. So first, let's understand what thinking in English really means. Thinking in English doesn't mean speaking loudly in your head or memorizing grammar rules. It means your brain starts connecting thoughts directly to English words, without translation. Let me explain it this way. When a baby learns to speak, they don't translate. They connect ideas, emotions, and pictures directly with words. When a baby sees a dog, they don't think, okay, this animal means perro in Spanish or kuta in Hindi. They just know, dog. That's how natural fluency works. When you think in English, you remove the middleman, your native language, and build a direct highway between your brain and your English words. That's why some people can understand English perfectly. But when it's time to speak, they freeze. Their brain is still busy translating. So, the first secret is, you have to train your mind to connect ideas directly with English words. This is not automatic. You have to retrain your brain, just like you'd train your muscles at the gym. Section 2. The science behind thinking in English. Let's go a bit deeper. Language is not just about words. It's about thinking patterns. For example, in English, people often say things indirectly or politely. Could you please pass the salt? I was wondering if you had a moment to talk. But in some other languages, people speak more directly. So when you translate, your brain often struggles because your native thinking style doesn't match English thinking style. That's why it's not enough to memorize vocabulary. You need to absorb how English speakers think, react, and express themselves. When Americans say, "I'm feeling under the weather," they don't mean they're standing under the rain. It's an idiom. It means, I'm feeling a bit sick. If you translate it word for word, it makes no sense. But if you think in English, you instantly understand the meaning because your brain recognizes the idea, not just the words. That's how your fluency grows, when English becomes the language of your thoughts, not just your mouth. Section 3. How to train your brain to think in English. Now let's get practical. How can you actually train your brain to think in English before speaking? Here's the step-by-step process I personally recommend. Step 1. Start with objects around you. This is the most powerful and simple exercise. Wherever you are, in your bedroom, in your office, in your car, start naming the things around you in English. Example: you wake up in the morning in your apartment in Boston. You look around and think, this is my bed. I need to get up. The sunlight is coming through the window. I feel lazy, but I have to go to work. No translation, just simple English sentences. You can do this silently in your mind, even for 5 minutes a day. Over time, your brain will automatically start describing your world in English, like a movie narrator inside your head. Step 2. Practice inner conversations. Now take it one level higher. Have mini conversations in your mind, with yourself, in English. For example, imagine you're driving to your job in Chicago. You can think like this. Okay, what should I eat for lunch today? Maybe I'll grab a sandwich? No, I had that yesterday. Maybe some tacos. See? You're thinking in English naturally, about real life. No pressure, no grammar check, no audience. Just you and your thoughts. The more you do this, the more fluent your mental English becomes. Step 3. Use short English notes daily. Start journaling or taking notes in English. When you write something, even short, your brain processes language slowly and deeply. Write simple notes like, today I woke up early. The weather was nice. I met my friend Sarah for coffee. If you live in Dallas or San Francisco, describe your daily surroundings, your routine, your feelings. These small notes train your mind to think in English structure. Step 4. Surround yourself with English. Now this one is essential. If you want to think in English, your environment has to be full of English. That means watch YouTube videos, movies, and shows in English, with English subtitles. Listen to English podcasts when you're walking or driving. Change your phone language to English. If you live in a U.S. city like Miami or Seattle, you already hear English around you. So start noticing it consciously. When you see a billboard or hear someone speak, don't just understand. Repeat it in your mind. If someone says, "What's up, man?" don't translate it. Just think, "Oh, he's greeting me casually." Step 5. Stop translating, even when it feels hard. This is the most difficult part. In the beginning, you'll be tempted to translate everything back into your native language. Don't. When you don't know a word, try to describe it in English. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, say, "That thing we use when it rains." That's still thinking in English. Fluent speakers don't know every word either. They describe what they mean until the word appears. That's the real secret. Section 4. The mindset shift. Now let's talk about your mindset. Fluency doesn't start with your tongue. It starts in your mind. If you believe English is just a subject, you'll always need to study. But if you treat English as your second personality, you'll start living in it. Think about how Americans express emotions. When they're happy, that's awesome. When they're surprised, no way. When they're sad, that sucks, man. Those expressions come naturally because they think emotionally in English. You have to do the same. When you're angry, when you're excited, when you're bored, think in English. Even say it aloud to yourself. "I'm so tired today. This coffee tastes amazing. I can't believe it's raining again." Every small emotional sentence trains your brain faster than studying grammar for hours. Section 5. Practical daily routine to think in English. Here's a daily plan you can start from tomorrow, whether you live in Houston, New York, or San Diego. Morning, 5 minutes. Describe everything you see around you in English. Your bed, your phone, your mirror. Say it in English silently. Afternoon, 10 minutes. Listen to something in English, maybe a podcast or YouTube video. Then close your eyes and repeat what you understood in your own English words. Evening, 5 minutes. Write 3 to 4 sentences about your day in English. Don't care about mistakes. Care about thinking directly in English. If you do this for 30 days, your brain will slowly switch its default language from your native one to English. Section 6. Overcoming common problems. Let's face it, thinking in English isn't easy at first. Here are the common problems and how to fix them. Problem 1. I forget words. That's normal. When it happens, describe it in English instead of translating. Example: I forgot the name, but it's the thing we use to cut paper. Problem 2. I think too slowly. That's okay. Thinking speed improves naturally. Don't rush. Fluency is not about speed. It's about connection. Problem 3. I feel shy speaking English. Then start speaking to yourself. When you walk, when you cook, when you drive, talk to yourself in English softly. It's not crazy, it's training. Section 7. The secret practice technique. The shadow method. Here's a powerful method most advanced learners use. Shadowing. It means listening to a native English speaker and repeating exactly what they say at the same time. For example, open a short English podcast or video on YouTube. Listen to one sentence and immediately repeat it out loud, imitating the tone, rhythm, and speed. You don't have to understand every word. The goal is to train your brain to think and speak together. After 10 minutes of shadowing, Your brain starts syncing with English rhythm. Do this daily for a week, and you'll feel your speaking flow improve drastically. Section 8. Immersion. Live in English mentally. Even if you live in another country, you can mentally live in English. Here's how. Set your phone, social media, and news feeds to English. Follow English-speaking creators on Instagram or YouTube. Read signs, books, menus, and subtitles in English only. Pretend English is the only language you know. Soon, your thoughts will automatically switch to English without effort. When that happens, you'll notice something magical. You'll start dreaming in English, arguing in English, and even joking in English. That's when you know your brain has switched completely. Factor Fates. Section 9. The final truth. Make English your identity. Here's the final truth, my friend. You can't think in English if you treat it like a foreign language. You have to make it a part of your identity. Don't say, I'm learning English. Say, I'm living in English. If you live in the US, use English in every situation. At the grocery store in Portland, at the bus stop in Denver, or while ordering food in a small diner in Nashville. Even small interactions build your English thinking muscles. Every time you speak or think in English, you're not just learning, you're transforming. Letter sur conclusion. So, my dear friends, remember this. The secret to thinking in English before speaking isn't about grammar, books, or vocabulary lists. It's about rewiring your brain to make English your natural language of thought. You do that by surrounding yourself with English, by describing your world in English, by speaking to yourself in English. Every single day. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's about connection. Once you stop translating, English stops being foreign. It becomes part of who you are. Now let me ask you again. Do you want to think in English naturally without translation? Then promise yourself today. From now on, you'll live in English, not study it. Because that, my friend, is the real secret.